Hi everybody, I'm Manorama and this is Sanskrit Studies and Luminous Soul Corner, and I want to welcome you all here today. Today we're focusing on the Sanskrit word of the week, and the word of the week is a word that's quite famous in the yogic world. The word is Bhagavān. Can you say that? Push the breath out on that first consonant. Bhagavān. Make sure you drop that jaw at the end. Bhagavān. So what does Bhagavān mean? Well, Bhagavān means the Lord, or it means God. But let's go a little bit into the etymology. That'll help us a bit. So Van or mun, or Van or Man, depending on how they're being used, they're Vatup and Matup. These are suffixes that connote possessed of or having in abundance. So we see this with Hanuman, one who has a large jaw, and we see this one who's possessed of a large jaw, and that has so many symbolisms. And here we also see it in the context of Bhaga. So Bhagavan means one possessed of lots of Bhaga. And what is Bhaga? Bhaga is power. Power. But here, when we're talking about in the context of God, it means one possessed of spiritual power, spiritual light. So one who is truly, dare I say it, luminous. So God is considered this luminous force, or this force of light. And we use this word quite often. We'll see, like, some people will ascribe that term to their masculine. It would have to be a male teacher, so it would be, they would call him Bhagavan. A lot of people refer to Sri Ramana Maharshi as Bhagavan. But the most famous reference is within the context of the Bhagavad Gita, which is a yogic Upanishad. It is a Sanskrit text, which we'll speak more about next week when I share the Sanskrit word of the week. But in any event, it's talking about the relationship between God and the disciple, or the student and the teacher and the student. And in this context, they're kind of merged, and there's this dialogue that's happening between them, and it's quite a beautiful dialogue. It's one of trust. It's one of the student having a place where they can fall down and get up. It's a dialogue of growth, of confusion, and then of clarity. So it's an in-depth topic. But in any event, we have the word Bhagavan. So how can you work with that this week? Well, what I want you to do is start to get curious about the sacred in your life and ask yourself, how do I sort of become filled with the sacred in my own life? How do I invite the principle of Bhagavan into my practice and into my life? Maybe it's that you found that you've been more outgoing for a little too long, right? Maybe a few too many weeks, and you want to pull in and have a little more quiet. Maybe it's that you want to adjust your practice to a certain extent, and you just want to make sure that you create a schedule where you're meditating every week so many times, and you want to just put a little check mark after that, right? Just to give yourself that extra discipline. Or maybe it's that you want to be in nature a bit more, and that somehow that communion with nature actually helps you access the sacred. Because the more we access the sacred, the more we're accessing our own spiritual core, and that is at the essence of what is Bhagavan. So that's my exercise for you all this week. It's been a pleasure being here with all of you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in class again soon. Thank you, everybody. Be blessed. You are all luminous souls. Mwah! Bye, everybody. Be blessed.